This week's In the Field is presented by Gordon's Feed and Pet. Gleonda Angus Farms officially goes back to 1964, when Leon Kleeman married Gleonda. But their history in the cattle business goes back much further. A legacy that now encompasses 6 generations on the same farmland.
I'm Leon Kleeman.
I'm Travis Merrick. We are Gleonda Angus Farms, Miller, Missouri.
Oh, I've been in the cattle business 65 years. And I've showed Angus cattle, we've fed cattle, we've done about everything with cattle that's possible. We try to keep up with everything, to stay on top of everything. If you fall behind, you get left out and run over. So
staying competitive in the Angus breed for decades isn't easy. Leon said they caught a break early on with the purchase of a performance-tested bull, something unheard of at that time.
And they put their bulls in individual stalls and hand-fed them, weighed them, measured the feed and that, so they got the individual rate of gains on them and feed conversion that way, because that's one of the main expenses in your cattle is feed conversion. You've got to ride the trends, and that's the shooting at a moving target, so you never know where it's going to be. And that's the same with all the cattle feeding. You're always, nothing's certain.
Today, Leon and his wife are preparing for the future, and that includes passing down the family's legacy to their grandson.
With him being 76 years old, not being able to do all the stuff physically, we were at a point to where I was ready to come back to the farm. We had family meetings of what's the next step. I was really the only person that wanted to come back or was able to with jobs and things like that. So we figured it was time to step up and make the move. From that point, it was trying to take the cow herd from pencil and paper, move it over to electronic. Things were a lot easier. It's faster and more efficient that way.
He keeps all the cattle records. He knows all the cattle records. He's got right in his phone. He can just punch it on his phone and bring up the individual animal out there in the pasture and tell you everything about her. And I'd have to go to the books at the house to find out all that when I was growing up.
Whether with pen or paper or smartphone and computer, record keeping on the farm is a must. But Travis has taken that one step further and has the entire herd now registered electronically with the American Angus Association.
We have our cows enrolled in the Maternal Plus program. That enables us to get more use out of the data we send in. Every piece of data recorded on the farm goes to the association. It's put into their system. We get graphs through this program, tells us our age distributions, EPD trends to where it shows whether our EPDs are flowing with the Angus average or away from, so it kind of tells us how we can move with the next step. Aside from the cow herd, the data goes also into our meat shop, which will be opening this summer, and we'll have a grand opening this fall. So we're using overall data to help market our cattle differently because times are changing. So 2 things that we have not done in the last 20 years is show cattle and have production sales. And in March of 2018, we had our first annual production sales since the late 90s. And this year we'll be exhibiting cattle for the first time at the Ozark Empire Fair. These last 3 years have been extremely fun for me, but at the same time it's been really scary having decisions be put on my shoulders that I was never in a position to make. And it's hard to do these decisions not knowing what the outcome's going to be. We've been really lucky that things have worked out pretty well. This is not only my future, but it is his legacy that I'm continuing, and it impacts the entire family. We are a family operation, everyone's involved. Going into the future, we hope we can continue building momentum, and something that I think will help all cattlemen across the board, even our commercial buyers, and I tell this to everybody, is the more records we keep, the better our record keeping is, will benefit the entire cattle industry. And that's something we have taken. My grandmother did a wonderful job keeping the books and keeping the records, but since we've gone into this electronic age, it's completely different. There's more options, there's more data to send in, and that impacts our cattle from the day they're born. They get weighed, they're weighed at weaning, they're weighed at yearling, and then all the way through till they're hanging on the rail and headed to our meat market. So that's something that is really important to us and we want to keep doing, is keeping track of all of our hard, raw data, which will impact the rest of the breed and the entire cattle industry.
Leon and Gleonda might be handing over the reins to the next generation, and Travis might be doing things a bit different. But they both understand the importance of staying current and relevant within the industry. Learn more about their new meat shop and their Angus genetics on Facebook or at gleondaangus.com.